Alright, welcome to the channel, Newport Blue Forester. This video is going to serve as a little introduction to what I'll be posting on here. So I'm making this channel to document my journey with my 2008 Forester XT, which I have named El Niño, which is Spanish for the child, because my last Forester was called La Madre, because we always called it the Mom Subi in high school. So I thought El Niño would be fitting for the new Forester. I bought this car back in January of this year after deciding old Madre was ready for retirement. Madre had about 285,000 miles on her, and she didn't have a lot of life left in her. But my dream car was the same generation Forester, but the Turbo XT, and in the same color, Newport Blue. And I found one at a decent price, got my first loan, and drove her home back in January. So now I've owned this car for 8 months, and I've already made a lot of changes. First, I threw on my STI BBS wheels from my old Forester, then I got a tint in April, and then around that same time purchased some coilovers for the car. The motor in this car is still bone stock. I installed a Turbo XS catback exhaust on the car about a month ago now, but there's still a lot left I'd like to do. Most recently, I purchased a Cobb access port for this car, so I could really keep an eye on the motor and make sure everything was running healthy. And I quickly found out it wasn't running very healthy. My air-fuel ratio was way off, sitting around 17 wide open throttle, which for those of you who don't know is terrible. So I installed a new downstream O2 sensor and returned the intake to stock from my shitty homemade cold air intake, and that fixed the AFR. I will miss whooshy turbo cold air intake sounds, but this also helped my intake temps, which were sitting around 20 to 30 degrees above ambient while moving. A lot more than that while sitting still. Not good. So I know an upgraded intercooler is now definitely on the list. But the biggest, most obvious problem I spotted was I wasn't making any boost. Maxing out at about 2 pounds, 2 psi. This was very concerning, being that I should be making 13.5 psi on the stage 1 map from Cobb. So I started troubleshooting. Wastegate and bypass valve were both good, no huge leaks, and from the beginning I ruled out a leak because a leak big enough to lose 11 pounds of boost would most likely cause the car not to run. So my final verdict was a blown turbo, which makes sense. From the day I picked up the car, it felt sluggish. At first I blamed it on the Colorado altitude, our poor fuel quality, and when I got a lean condition code, I blamed that as well. The previous owner had also mentioned an oil leak on the passenger side, which he thought was a valve gasket, but now I've realized it's oil coming out of the turbo. So I found a part out on Marketplace and found a new TD04 turbo off an 04 Forester XT, which I actually just got back from picking up, and will most likely be in the next video I make. So yeah, I should be releasing a new video here in the next day or two of me replacing my turbo and hopefully fixing my boost issues in the car. I'm very excited to start this channel and start documenting my journey and experience with this car and hopefully help others who are not expert mechanics, just like I am not an expert mechanic. And over the next year, you'll probably see this car get a tune, catless downpipe, a proper cold air intake, a new top mount intercooler, either one off an STI or an expensive aftermarket one, and hopefully within the next 2 years this car will be getting an all new wheel and tire setup, an auto to manual swap, big money, and a factory respray, also a lot of money. I have even more in store for this car over the next couple years, and it will all be on this channel. And at some point next summer, me and my friend who owns an 05 Silver STI will be doing a 2,600 mile road trip out to West Virginia, and some other friends tagging along as well. So yeah, a lot is planned for this car and this channel. Stay tuned for the next video where I rip this turbo out and slap the new one in and hope it all works. So yeah, until next time.